Welcome, everyone. Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, here is the worst unit of the decade. I've been covering different units in general, and of course, at the top of the list of junk, and there's a lot of junk out there, and surprisingly, it's not even Orgone based, it's just junk. But now we can return to one of the most famous pieces of junk put out there by Karl Welz of Magitech, the famous Satanist and deviant in general, has been noted by Knetting, who this was his mentor. So fortunately, this person and his family have all passed away at a young age, of course, from their great technology. And of course, here's one of those units that were pushed by him and his alleged criminal buddies to get out there with a campaign of disinformation. This is basically, and we can see actually here, this is the JU99 CE. And of course, this has the particular Orgone little pipe here that all of Wells' units had on it. And of course, internally, these have the same poisonous junk in it that all his stuff has. But when I got this unit many years ago, probably 6-7 years ago, and of course, the first thing I do with anything that we get is you test out the energy on it. Now, this isn't plugged in yet, and we're going to open this up and plug it in, and I'll do all those things to it. But the first thing you generally do is you always test the actual energy. Does this have, what is the energy spin through this? And the whole idea is you hold a pendulum over it. Clockwise, of course, means a good energy. Counterclockwise means toxic energy. Things that are toxic, Drano, pesticides, and so many other things that are toxic. So let's just give it a second here and find out what kind of energy is in here. Well, we're getting counterclockwise, and you can see it's a pretty big, it's a big spin here, a big negative counterclockwise spin, and nothing positive ever spins counterclockwise. It just doesn't happen. Something that is have fully balanced will have 3 energies in it, believe it or not. These are very rare, which has a neutral energy, a positive and a negative in it. This is very rare that you find something like that, and difficult to test for, but the bottom line is that, you always test whether it's positive or negative. Well, it's shocking that the famous Satanist of this, and continuing with the stooges that are taking over his company, are all hardcore Satanists. And the bottom line is that these people have been allegedly linked to organized crime and other things, and there is a large criminal network going on with what has been alleged with these people and others. But that's another story. But in terms of technology, well, first of all, this wasn't much of anything. These used to be made originally in Romania. Now, when this was bought 5 or 6 years ago, they now claim their stuff is made in America. But it used to be Romania, then it went to Bulgaria, otherwise known as the criminal countries of Europe. Not too surprising, is it? Now it's made by criminals in the United States and so forth. So we have the usual thing here. Now, so this is a, quote, chi generator, which is nothing more than basically, of course, God knows what he's done to them. But generally, these are things that just put out Hertzian energies of the typical human resonance. But of course, this isn't it, or it wouldn't change to be negative in there. So, and it's a whole toxic compound he has in there called orgonite. And orgonite is a contrivance of Karl Welz to come up with something and try and sell this nonsense. Has nothing to do with Orgone from Wilhelm Reich, who had some interesting energies and research there. Has absolutely nothing to do with that whatsoever, but as these type of people like to do, they steal everything, rename it, rebrand it, trying to con people, and certainly that's been done. And of course, this is so typical of this particular industry and the people that are in it. Now, As I said, these generally plug in. And of course, I have never used this after finding out that it was toxic. And, you know, when you turn it on, sometimes units change if you turn them on, which generally, sometimes when you turn units on that come positive, they turn to negative. But generally, negative units are negative when they're on or off. Electricity really has nothing to do with it. This is a little joke circuit that's in here, put with some goop in it, and then put out there. This is not a radionic unit in any way whatsoever. There's no way to put any energy into it. You're not touching it, holding it. This is generating its toxic energy and shooting it out at a particular target, which you were supposed to put there, etc. So that doesn't really make any sense either. You've got to put intentions in. You've got to have thought forms. You got to have all those things to work. And so none of this stuff ever worked very well, and it was sold cheaply, and people got conned into it like they get conned into anything. Look at all the con organizations out there. There are so many of them that it is relatively frightening, and people just love to be used and abused. But let's take a little look at this. You've got your little, this is, I believe, yeah, I haven't cleaned this in a while. That looks like a copper pipe that he put in there. Maybe not. Maybe it's cheaper and brass, because they use as cheap components as possible. You've got this particular shape with 4 screws. Here's the top of it. And again, there's no end plates or anything. So this is producing what he considers, well, it does. It produces toxic orgonite, which he was famous for. So you generally put the power supply in here. It comes on automatically, and this lights up. So we'll be showing that in the future here, or of how that actually works. But it is important to understand what a powerful negative energy that this puts off. You can say, well, you don't like this guy, so you're doing it. I'm a real researcher, and I dish out facts and truth, otherwise known as gnosis. I don't have to rig anything, because these people are notorious and the crap that is produced out there. If you watched my other video on the worst units of 2022, which were not made by him. These were junk units as well that put off negative energy as well. So it's very, very common, and doesn't necessarily. People don't know what they're doing. They don't test their products. In general, they have a lot of problems because they don't understand their field, they don't study, and they don't try and figure out what's really this kind of energy is. It's the same old thing. I invented it, I tested it, I say it works, and you buy it. No, it's really sad, but, you know, most products are like this. You don't know what kind of products you get, what quality they are in any field. It could be from electronics to computers to anything else. Do you know if it's any good? Well, you're hoping the market makes it good, meaning that if it's not a good product, it's not up for sale, but you just really don't know that. And the amount of returns for electronic products in general is humongous. It's a real problem for companies like Amazon and others, which have to deal with all these returns, all this faulty technology, things that don't work in general. But let's show you an interesting little test here. Now, this is very, very toxic energy. So, you know, a little quick fix generally doesn't do it. So we're going to show you that here as well. You need to use some strong energies, and I'll show you how this can be changed around. Now, a standard little tachyon cell that we offer, which is designed to bring in positive energies and to amplify whatever it's put on generally. Those positive energies will amplify it. But one little energy cell is not going to do the deed here, as we'll see right now. Can we change this into positive? And of course, no. Now, we can try using multiple cells, etc., but these aren't designed to change energies. They're basically designed to amplify. Tachyons, neutrinos, and our special blend with gravitons are very, very interesting, and they are great amplifiers. But those energies can only be grabbed at a very low level at this time. So they are very helpful. They amplify good positive energies, but they're not going to be able to change really strong negative energies. What we've designed to do that is our basic plate here. See if we can adjust. I'm having a little problem with my camera, but what you need is one of our clearing plates. These are designed to change and purify energy. So anything that you may have that is negative or so forth, you would place this under it and it would clear it. If it's something that you may have picked up, like you may when you have real technology, like one of my machines or something, but they can build up with negative energy over time. So you want to clear them out by just popping this under, particularly here's a radionic machine. You just pop it right under there and leave it on there for an hour or two, and that will clear everything out of it, etc. When it comes to something like this, of course, you can't clear the negative energy out of here. It's constantly producing it. So what you've got to do is neutralize it. Now, how can you do that? Well, that's what these plates are designed for. So if you have some sort of machine like this, you use a plate like this. And we'll show you how this will change negative energy to positive. And there we go. We've taken that counterclockwise negative energy that Satanists are known for, and of course his particular brand of Satanist magic coming out of Austria likes to use reverse energies in general. And here we go by using positive energies by using the plate. And it turned positive and turned positive very well. So if you use something like this, you would then have to have one of these under it to make sure it works right. I don't recommend using any of this technology. If you have these machines, you should bite the bullet and throw them out. They're loaded with toxins. And you'll see when this is opened up, you'll see the toxic orgonite that's in there, and we will hold pendulums over that to show you that and how that actually registers and what kind of real negative energy that puts out. We're going to show you that when we open this up and electrify it and turn it on Patreon, people. So if you're a Patreon member, you can certainly become one. Go to the upper right of this channel, and you'll see a link to Patreon, and you can join there and support my work and the money involved. This wasn't free. I had to buy all these things. These things are very costly to do serious research. It's very costly to investigate these things. So we're going to open this up on Patreon. We're going to plug it in. We're going to show you the guts, what it's made of. So if you're interested in that and others, we show you the two worst radionic machines of 2022, if you can call them radionic machines again. People don't even have the concept down. They make little toys with lighties on them and kind of convince people, or they make things that produce Hertzian energies and then call them subtle energy or radionic machines. They're wrong, people, and that's why this stuff has never gotten anywhere. And while the producers of that, of course, the famous stuff right now is get yourself a telephone app. It'll change your life. It's a radionic machine now. Use the app. This kind of nonsense is really putting the industry behind. And if you support people like this and let them make money off of suckering you, then you're going to run into serious problems in life, because it doesn't work. It's nothing more than a toxic placebo. To think that your phone, which is a microwave producing device, is going to produce positive energies is the epitome of stupidity. So just like go ahead and grow nice flowers next to nuclear waste, you'll see what happens. So it's all the stuff that goes on with the using toxicities, not understanding what these energies are, and not even bother to seek out people that do know and try and train yourself so you know what's going on. They're just making money trying to sell phone apps, which cost them absolutely nothing, that sit there, that's 100% profit, and rip you off. So that's the way it goes. But here's a prime example. Remember, if you have any type of other radionic machine out there not made by Radionic Tech, make sure you get one of these discs. You can get these online at my website, and what an investment. And even if you have a good quality machine, these will clear it out. The difference is you would leave this underneath a machine like this forever if you want to own some toxic junk like this. and you'd leave it there. But, there's a lot of machines out there made by a lot of people. And unfortunately, I can't really find too many people that know what they're talking about and in general are making anything positive. They're all junk out there. So having something like this is a lifesaver, and it means that generally you're going to be able to still use that technology you have without having to buy another one, because a lot of these machines. But ultimately, if you're serious, you would take this, hit it with a hammer, and get rid of it. You want that in your life for the rest of your life. You want to be hooked up and connected to on a powerful way to self-avowed Satanists involved with all sorts of horrible type of things that they allegedly are involved in and continue to be. Well, the point is this is the reality that's out there. And you should not be part of it. These are consciousness machines. If you expect these to produce high-level results for you and to manifest in your life, well, you need to be having technology that is built by legitimate companies that are trying to help the world, that have good positive energies, and that's what you need, not working with all the rest of these. I can't tell people this more often than not. It's sad you have to do that. It's sad we couldn't talk about, well, what this company has and what is good or bad about it. Well, the point is they're all involved with this, and they have all supported them as they continue to do, and this is well, we can see that from the very negative society we live in. And it's self-created, not by the Illuminati and the people in office. It's created by the populace who support all these criminals. So keep it in mind. But all of you that really want to see what's in here, what's in this little plastic box, and wants to understand what's there, you need to join Patreon, and then we'll show you the guts, as we do with all things. All of our guts and all of the real demonstrated techniques and research are on Patreon, and most of it is on All Access membership, where we have a giant radionic school, all sorts of training, videos, in-depth information, looking inside different machines, etc. Well, all of this is for those select people who want to support this organization and get to the facts of this amazing and critical needed technology of our time. And you're not going to get that for free. It just doesn't work that way. Nor are we interested in supplying more technology easily to the opposition who copies everything I do. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Make sure you support this organization and watch for more little intros like this to come.